Hey guys, it's Looch. As I live and breathe, I never thought that I would be sitting here urging you to watch 90-minute documentary about Lynyrd Skynyrd, but a brand new documentary just aired on Showtime, and it's called If I Leave Here Tomorrow. It is the most enlightening. I learned so much. For a band that maybe I had just put on a shelf and thought, Southern boogie, rock, Confederate flag, whiskey, whatever, it's so much more than that. And I have a great appreciation for this band. First of all, they were incredible musicians, every single one of them. And they had a work ethic. I guess they would get together in some shack in the woods and start rehearsing at 8 in the morning. And Ronnie Van Zant, who was the lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd, was almost savant-like in that he could write a song in his head, write the lyrics, he'd go fishing, and he could hear the band rehearsing down the river, and he'd start writing lyrics to what he was hearing. And they toiled around and played dumps and school dances. And then Al Kooper, who was in Blood, Sweat, and Tears and also played the infamous organ riff on Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone, signed them to his own label. And then they got, their big break was opening for The Who. And they literally went from playing these dumps to 50 people to 18,000 people. But then, when that tour was over, they went back to the dump and played, and then they got a chance to open for the Stones, and they kind of screwed with them because Mick's a control freak, and they were just out of control. Yes, they imbibed on the drink and the drugs, but they were anti-gun, anti-racism, and they now admit, the surviving members, that having the Confederate flag, of course, they were naive and thinking that it just represented where they're from, and they realized how hurtful a symbol it is. And I also think, as far as documentaries go, when is the last time you've heard in detail the story of a plane crash as told by the survivors? It's incredible the way they describe going down in this plane in this field in Mississippi. They describe it as it sounded like somebody was beating on the plane with 800 baseball bats. And some members survived. Ronnie Van Zant did not. 6 people died. The pilots died. I almost don't want to tell you this, but there's a guy whose sort of job is now preserving the legacy of Lynyrd Skynyrd, and more specifically of the plane crash. He goes out into the field where the crash took place, 35 years ago, and digs up a piece of the fuselage. He starts going, you can find parts of the plane. They also described that when the wings ripped off of the plane, obviously, I'm sure all their luggage, everything, and it was like clothes and socks hanging in trees. It's a really incredible documentary that any music lover should really check out. And I'm going to tell you right now, too, that the next drunken loudmouth who screams Freebird at a show, I will never be able to think of it in the same way, because the song Freebird is used at the very end to sort of encapsulate the whole idea of if I leave here tomorrow, will you still remember me? So check it out. It's on Showtime, and it's on demand.